If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells have stopped. Manda da basata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost!
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe?
Send us the cash.
Welcome to the Bible Dumb Podcast. This is the podcast where two atheists read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I'm Davey Hell.
I'm Jesse Hell.
We're back again for more Deuteronomy, which is just more Leviticus. Or just Leviticus all over again. Like, I don't even think we need a recap. It's just, it'd be like a recap of a recap.
Yeah, I don't...
Just more rules. That's all we got.
The last few chapters were rough.
Yeah, all of Deuteronomy has been rough. It's just like the same shit. It's just like, hold on. We're just going to go over everything we've gone over thus far. It's like the review before the test. So this week, I've been making like little YouTube shorts out of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in and I'll find like a little clip I find kind of funny or interesting. And I'll snip it out and try to make it real short. And put some AI art to it just so that I can put it out on YouTube. And it's kind of fun because it gets spread by the algorithm fairly quickly and gets in front of more people, which means, of course, like some religious people have found it.
Oh.
Left comments. But one in particular I wanted to bring up because he just said, well, that's not what the Bible says, but whatever. I was like, I'm literally sitting here reading the boring ass words straight out of the damn book.
But that's
Don't tell me that's not what it says.
That's not what the preacher told him.
Oh my God. How do you not even know what your own holy book says?
Because they don't read it.
Well, then how do you not read a book that you believe is the word of God?
I don't know.
You
It's
either
boring.
don't believe... yeah, true. I was going to say either you don't really believe it and you're just playing part of your club, but I don't know.
That might be part of it, but I think most people, especially people that are commenting on YouTube about it, they're probably more, they've just always grown up with it. They've been told not to question it. They've never read the whole thing. They just go with what they hear on Sunday.
It doesn't compute. Like, I do not like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
You've not met these people at work or out in the real world?
I have, but like, that's where I get stuck when I try to think about this stuff. It's like, my mind goes to, well, then they must not really believe it. Like,
They've
they're
never
just
thought long enough to question whether they really believe it or not.
But if you...
That's my take.
It's like, if you believe that you're going to get hit by a car when you walk across the highway, you don't, like, you can't force yourself to, like... Okay, let me try that again. So it's like you say you believe that there's buried treasure in your backyard, but
Okay, you gotta think
you don't go get it.
Obviously, people are gonna get that, but it's like astrology, like it's fun.
This is not fun.
No, astrology's fun, and it's fun to read it or whatever. But nobody's actually going out and following their horoscope, But there are a few people out there who are just obsessed with it and follow it religiously, But if you had that in your house growing up day in, day out, everybody talked about it as if it was real, you'd probably feel about astrology the same way a lot of people feel about religion.
I guess so. I don't think I'll ever understand it.
I think
but that's okay. Maybe, I mean we're still early in the Bible, so maybe I will get it.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time we get to Jesus, I'll figure it out.
And I think even people that didn't grow up with religion, like if you're growing up in the United States, you're pretty much growing up with religion. It's hard to avoid it, you know?
You did a good job. All right. Well, let's figure out some more laws for these Levites. Chapter 18. The priests of the Levites and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, and he hath said unto them, and this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw, and the first fruit also of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the first of the fleece of thy sheep shalt thou give him. For the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all the tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren the Levites do, which shall stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat, beside that which cometh of the sale of his patrimony. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Wait, you're not supposed to be meeting with those people?
Yeah.
Those all sound like all the cool people.
It sounds like you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. It sounds awesome. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, there's wizards, there's familiar spirits and necromancers, enchanters and witches. Like, what are these people?
I don't know, but I want to hear the stories about them.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be cool.
Oh, is this why they don't let little Christian babies read Harry Potter?
Yeah. Little Christian babies. What is a necromancer?
Not that I'm a fan of Harry Potter. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, you've got this like weird obsession with hating on Harry Potter.
Even before it was cool to hate Harry Potter.
So what is a necromancer doing?
Are they telling the future? I think.
No, necro means dead. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, the necromancers like raise the dead.
I thought it was like
No, it says
a person who practiced necromancy. Oh no, I was wrong. Which is the practice of using magic communication with the dead. They usually predict the future.
Oh, so they're like
or
mediums.
Yeah.
They're like pretending to talk to the dead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So don't go. Is this why you wouldn't let me get my tarot reading?
$40 to be told.
Yeah, we were.
You have
out,
something great on the horizon.
We were out shopping, and there was a tarot card reader, and you wouldn't let me get my fortune told for $40.
You were serious. I was like, yeah, okay.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
Is this foreshadowing for Jesus?
Maybe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
It could be.
I think foreshadowing is like one of my favorite writing techniques.
Oh, yeah. I like foreshadowing and I like a good callback.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more of like a joke. But I don't know if it's Jesus. Like, there's no really clues. Like, it just says a prophet from the midst of thee. And so it could be Jesus. It could be...
That's just kind of a typical cult tactic, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Can you... I bet crazy cult leaders have all read the Bible.
I bet a lot of them.
Or do they all just see the scam for what it is and are like, I could do that?
I think it's just, like, once you realize how easy people are to manipulate, like, the tactics become pretty self-evident. Like, it's not just Christian cults. There's, like, Indian cults, and yoga cults, and all kinds of weird cults out there. But they all seem to revolve around, like, one Jordan Peterson type-esque ruler who gets emotional in his speeches and starts to cry. And he's just able to like, pull everybody into his orbit.
Yeah.
According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And the Lord said unto me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet, which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, How shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken?
That was just what I was thinking.
When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken.
Oh, wait. Read that again. How do I know?
If it doesn't come true. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. But the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. Yeah, so if you make a prediction and it doesn't come true, then you're a liar.
Okay.
Easy way to tell.
Yeah.
Chapter 19. When the Lord thy God hath cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their cities and in their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. Thou shalt prepare thee a way, and divide the coasts of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. And this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee thither that he may live, whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. What?
I don't know. You lost me.
I was wondering about this part. Like, so at the end of Leviticus, we got a short bit about how they're supposed to create a bunch of cities so that murderers can flee there. But this says, whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. So it's like an accidental killing? Like he didn't mean to kill him?
Yeah.
And he didn't do it out of hatred?
Yeah.
How do you accidentally kill somebody?
I mean, you could run them over with your car, but I
They
don't
don't
think
have
that's
cars.
happening here.
I mean, they're camel, I guess. They're
Um,
donkey. They have donkeys.
I mean, an accident, just in
Yeah, I'm
general
sure there's
accident.
farm accidents. So they
Yeah.
gotta they gotta go live in a special city. It's interesting.
Like 3 cities over? Is that
No.
what it's?
No, there's 3 separate cities just for
Oh.
these people. How many of these
Wait,
like accidental deaths are happening?
you gotta have. Where are these 3 cities at? And where are they compared
in the
to your
midst of
current?
thy land?
Why 3 separate cities?
I don't know.
They're all for the murderers?
Yeah.
Accidental?
what it says.
Only accidental?
That's what it
What about
says.
the people who didn't accidentally kill their neighbor
Oh,
and
they
did
just
it on
get
purpose?
they just get stoned to death. They just kill them.
Yeah.
There's no jail system.
Okay.
No prison system here.
Okay.
As when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood,
Oh, there
and
you
his
go.
hand fetcheth a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slippeth from the helve and lighteth upon his neighbor, that he die.
There's your example.
That's a perfect example. It's like you're sitting there, you're chopping down a tree, and then I don't know how the head of the axe came off and embedded itself into my neighbor's head.
Oops, a daisy.
Okay. All right, accidents happen. I see. It's just, I don't know. I would be kind of suspicious. It's just like when the Dick Cheney was out hunting and the dude just shot him.
Yeah.
He's got to go to one of these murder cities. He shall flee unto one of those cities and live, lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. Did you catch that?
So, say your neighbor's relative
Yeah.
got mad.
That you chopped him
They
in
chopped
the face.
their relative in the face. They could come kill you.
Right. So
What
you got to
hap-
go.
what hap-
You got to go live in this separate city so they can't come get you and get revenge.
What about therapy?
They don't have therapy.
Okay, just seems easier.
I guess, yeah. Or just I don't know. Wherefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee, and if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers, if thou shalt keep all these commandments to do them, which I command thee this day, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk ever in his ways, then shalt thou add 3 cities more for thee beside these 3, that innocent blood may not be shed in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. Well, I guess they're just overflowing with cities. They've got plenty of cities. They can they can set 3 aside for manslaughter. Sorry, I'm still laughing at the example they gave. But if any man hate his neighbor and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally that he die, and fleeth into one of these cities, then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him thence, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Thine eye shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. All right, so if you actually commit a murder, you can't just go run and hide in one of these cities.
Yeah.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. Right? Yeah, we got that.
Mm-hmm.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, then ye shall do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. So if you accuse your neighbor of, I don't know.
I mean, let's take the chopping of the head situation.
Okay.
And one neighbor A chopped off neighbor B's head. And neighbor C said, oh, he's hated him forever. I know he did it on purpose. He told me he was going to kill him.
Yeah.
He was going to find a way. But that wasn't true.
Then he gets his head chopped off.
Guess so.
I was just wondering, like, in what instance, like it says, like, if you accuse somebody of doing something and you're faking it, then that's going to be done to you. But what would you accuse them of doing that would be done to you? Which I guess it's more like whatever punishment you're asking for that person to have, that's what they'll give to you. So if you're like, he stole from me, cut off his hand, they'd be like, oh, you're lying. We're going to cut off your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
This is the eye for an eye thing?
Yes, it is. And I called it with the hand thing.
Okay.
I'm glad I don't live in a time where they just like poke out your eye for being bad.
Oh, yeah.
That would suck so bad. To state the obvious. Where they just like deform people.
Burn them on the stake.
Yeah, but that's like just killing someone. Obviously in a horrific way, but they used to be like, oh, slept with my wife, I'm going to poke your eyeball out. Now you just got one eyeball. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I mean, but how's it different from what we do now?
Well, now you just like...
Gonna go to jail? Prison?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little bit better. I'd rather spend time in prison than have someone poke my eyeball out.
I don't know.
You serious? You'd like let them take your eyeball instead of like a couple years in jail?
Yeah, I would rather lose an eyeball.
What?
And
Without
have
anesthetic?
my freedom and not live in a scary place than be in prison for however.
See, this is where we have big time disagreement. I get to go, no work.
Okay.
You get basketball, 30 minutes of sun time every day, a library, you get books.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you go do your walk.
23 hours a day. You're going to be living in a room the size of your car.
Dude, I've seen movies. They got jigsaw puzzles. They've got books. I'm set.
It's not the movies.
Yeah, it is the movie. Yeah, it is.
You're going to be eating rotten food with mold on it.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that you have to like join a racist gang to keep from getting beat up. I don't like that you have to like have your currency in cigarettes in order to not get adopted by another prisoner. But I do like jigsaw puzzles and library books.
You could just do that at home.
Okay, yeah, I'll just do that. Not without eyeballs.
You have one eyeball. You could do a lot with one eyeball.
Okay. Chapter 20. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be when ye are come nigh unto battle, that the priests shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. What does it mean to dedicate your house? Is that
I
like
don't know.
is that like where they say like, oh, you haven't what's the word? And they say like, oh, you haven't christened the house yet? You haven't
Consummated?
There you go, consummated? I don't know.
your marriage? In the
Yeah, you
house?
haven't slept with your lady and you're in the new house yet?
Okay, what's really blowing my mind here is that there's so much war in the Bible. And this is the start of like I feel like this is the origin of, like praying before you go out to battle, which has bled into the little minutest activity of like even playing a junior high sport where they're like, let's have a prayer before we give all of our children brain injuries,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure other cultures and stuff were doing the same thing. But yeah, I see your point.
I've always wondered like where all the like God bless America and all the like rhetoric around God is with us when we're going to kill people in Iran, like I've always like it's just blown my mind. And this is where it comes from.
Yeah, pretty much.
But where does US come off thinking that God's all on their side? Because US isn't even around now. So he definitely isn't talking about us.
No, I don't know. They just co-opt everything. I don't know where the U.S. where is U.S. doing?
I'm just working a lot of things out in my mind right now. My mind is really surprised.
I think you give the Bible too much credit sometimes. Like, I don't think they're like getting it from the Bible. I think that's just what people do.
But this is like the mentality that started it all.
Yeah.
This is how people were raised. That people were raised on this idea that God's going to bless you in everything you do, in every activity you go play, every war you do, every law you make. And people grow up with that idea, and then they grow up to be assholes. And we wonder why. This is why.
Yeah, I guess so. This is one of the reasons, maybe. I mean, because if you think that, like, yeah, I mean, I think if you think that you have like some kind of supernatural justification for everything you do, you don't have to stop and consider like whether you're making bad decisions that harm others or not. Like you just are able to just kind of blindly move forward saying like, oh God, please bless my actions this day.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about what you're hurting, who you're hurting, harm you're causing. It doesn't, no, God's on your side, so it doesn't matter. You're not doing anything wrong, ever.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. Oh, dude. I'm like planting some grapevines. Be like, sorry, I can't go to war. Gotta eat my grapes.
Okay.
And what man is there that hath betrothed of a wife, and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her.
Yeah. So you gotta be a farmer, you gotta get married, but not make babies yet.
Yeah. Oh no, you want to put a baby in there.
No, they won't take you until you make babies.
It says, if he's betrothed a wife and not taken her, let him go home and
put a baby in it.
Put a baby in it. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you got to delay that process.
Gotcha.
We're avoiding war here.
Gotcha. I get
We're
it.
dodging the draft.
And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted?
Oh, me.
Let him go and return to his house, lest his brethren's heart faint, as well as his heart. No, you just have to be scared.
Yeah.
And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, thou shalt take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not in the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people which the Lord thy God doth give thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, as the Lord hath commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your God. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time in making war against it, to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee, until it be subdued.
What are you building?
Siege towers.
What did it say, though?
But not out of like fruit trees.
What did it say? What word did it say?
What do you mean, what word?
It said you will build something. Bull something.
Bulwarks.
Bulwarks. Is that a current word? I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it before. A bulwark. It's just like a structure, like a scaffold.
Okay.
I think. Unless I'm misremembering. I always get to this point where I'm like, do I really want to read another chapter?
How many have we read?
We've read 3. 30-something minutes, I think.
We could go one more.
All right, one more chapter. Chapter 21.
Wait, how much more do we have left?
I think there's 35 chapters.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So we're getting there.
Let's read one more. I'm still waiting to get to the good part.
Keep waiting. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who hath slain him, then thy elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city, shall take a heifer which hath not been wrought with, and which hath not drawn in the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer into a rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck, there in the valley. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord thy God hath chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord and by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried.
That doesn't seem fair.
No, it doesn't seem fair at all. First off, like, why do you just, like, pick the closest city? Like,
Yeah.
like, obviously a killer's not going to, like, dump the body next to where they live. They're going to go dump it next to, town down the road.
Yeah, you always go to the next city.
Yeah.
Multiple dumpsters, dumping the body. Yeah.
You maybe know a bit too much about this. I mean, don't share all your secrets. Yeah, but then, they take why do they have to, like, go kill a cow?
I
Like,
don't
what
know.
does that have to do with anything? I'm always obsessed with this idea that, like, you can kill something and that's in some way affects, like, a crime or a sin. Like, why does killing something have any effect on your wrongdoing? It's just so weird.
I don't know.
And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood,
Yeah, they have.
neither have our eyes seen it.
You can wash your hands however many times you want. You still killed it.
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So shalt thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them unto thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that
What?
thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Yeah, so they took their captives, and then, they find one that they're attracted to. And seest among the captives, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house.
Is she wanting to do this?
No. And she shall shave her head,
Uh-oh.
and pare her nails. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like she wants to be there.
No. She gets a whole month to mourn her dead family. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for the money, and shalt
yeah.
not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Well, how generous.
Okay. This
catch
is
all that?
insane. This is insane.
Like, why even have these rules? Like, you're just killing, like, all these people anyway. Like, so you take a captive. You're like, ooh, she's pretty. And so they're like, okay, you can keep her. Just make sure you, like, cut her nails and shave her head and let her cry for a month before you rape her. And then, if if that's all you wanted and you don't want to keep her anymore, you have to let her go. You can't sell her.
But it's okay because you humbled her. What does that mean?
I don't know. It's really weird mind games happening here. So, let me get in the head of a warlord rapist for a second. Okay, so I have a woman. I think she's pretty. So I shave her head. I put her away for a month. And then I finally have my way with her. I mean, is this...
Are they saying, like, she's a barbarian and we're civilized, so we can do this to her? Is that kind of the mentality that they're looking at these people with?
It almost feels like this is discouragement for taking these women as wives. It's just like, oh, you find her pretty? Okay, shave her head and put her in a room for a month. So you maybe, like, forget about her.
No way.
And then if you still want to marry her, you can, or you can just let her go. Because they don't want them taking wives from these people that they're conquering. I mean, why else would you like? I mean, unless the shaving of the head is like supposed to be like some kind of hygienic thing. Like that's what they did with anybody who had diseases, is they would shave them and put them away for a time period.
Yeah, that explains that. But the rest of it, ugh.
I don't know. It's all pretty gross.
Yeah.
And if a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated. And
That's an awkward dinner table.
Yeah. And they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, this is very specific.
Yeah. Whoever wrote this had a problem.
Exactly. He's making some rules for himself right now. Then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
Oh, no, he was the son of the hated. Whoever wrote this.
Gotcha.
Like, no.
Yeah, you can't give golden child first inheritance just because you like the youngest best.
Which, as we know, the youngest is always the favorite.
Yeah. But he shall acknowledge the...
Except in our family.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Unless you, like, trick your dad and give him some porridge or something.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. But if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father, or the voice of his mother, and that, when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you.
Goodness.
And all Israel shall hear and fear. Dang.
It's quite a punishment.
Yeah.
For something that multiple people do every day.
Just for being a party animal.
Yeah.
For being a beastie boy. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
This is the drunk guy, right?
This is just anybody.
Oh. Sorry.
You just can't leave
I'm
them hanging
distracted.
up. You got to take them down. That thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Yeah, you just got to take them down and bury them so that
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
you don't spoil the land by having like dead bodies hanging up all over the place.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice.
Right.
Okay, but didn't they do that with the heads? They'd like put heads on stakes surrounding castles and just leave them there?
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't have been doing that.
No, I would not. Would not suggest it. Right. So what did we learn today?
We learned if you accidentally kill your neighbor, you gotta move to one of the 3 towns.
Yeah. Accidents are rife in ancient Israel.
We also learned you can't make stuff up.
No.
Or that's happening
Yeah,
to you.
eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot,
Head for head.
head for head.
What else did we learn?
Learn.
Learned all the rules on how to take a captive wife.
Yeah. Yeah, for kidnapping women. I guess they're still having multiple wives.
What's the
That's
title
interesting.
of this? You know how there's titles up at the top? What was the title of this?
It says The Priests in War.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one says The Law of Attire. But I don't think we said anything about attire. Did we?
I don't think so.
Maybe that's coming up. Ooh. little cliffhanger for everybody who wants to learn about the laws of attire. All right. Well, we learned a lot of good stuff. I'm sure that'll be very useful in my day-to-day life today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, everyone, stay dumb.
Stay dumb.
Bye.